Resilience. I'm John Biggs. Today we have Andrii Taganskyi. He's the director of camera systems from Odd Systems. It's a Ukrainian defense tech company. They have a bit of news that just came out. They have the Shitlich 662 full color camera. Welcome, Andrii.
Hello, everyone. Hello,
Yeah.
John.
So tell me what you're building here. The Odd Systems sounds like a fun name, but you have a pretty hardcore mission. Why don't you tell me about what Odd Systems is?
So before the full invasion, the team members of our company were deep inside of different software companies building ride-sharing services, streaming services, and like site building platforms. And also our co-founders were building a pet camera. So the PetCube company produced over 1 million cameras for the US
Oh, wow,
market.
I remember PetCube.
Yeah. So this is a camera which you can use to play remotely with your pet. So when you're in the office. So then when the full invasion hit it, all of us changed our like not only daily routines, but also the business we do. And we started with at Odd Systems. We started with drones, and a bit later with cameras. So it is funny how we choose the name of the company. So there was a voting process of co-founders, and each of them suggested some names, and then we voted for each of the names. And Odd Systems was the, let's say, less unlikely for all of the participants. Yeah. So and we named it as Odd Systems, and then we decided to name our products with the names of dissidents who were murdered by Russian and Soviet regimes in the past.
Okay, so this Shitlich was a dissident.
Yeah, so it is named by the name of Svetlinsky, who is like a poet and literary critic and one of the leaders of 1960s. Of the national democratic movement in Ukraine. So he was imprisoned in labor camps, for his pro-Ukrainian views.
Oh, okay. All right. So tell me about the quote unquote camera business when it comes to defense. Why do you need a camera like this? What's the goal?
So the thing is that when you before 2022, the drones were like hobby toys, let's say. So it was a hobby to develop drones and fly them. But then when we started using drones for military missions, step by step, we all realized that we need some mission specific devices like cameras. So there are a lot of requests for what we see, so for image processing. And also there are a lot of different requests for the interfaces to integrate cameras with different types of platforms and systems. And therefore, when we turned on our product mindset towards solving these requests and problems, so we found that unlike usual cameras, either daylight or thermal, we can create mission specific cameras. It's like when you, I don't know, so there could be some great product like Nike shoes, they're quite universal, but when you need military boots, so you need something specific.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the specific things that are, I mean, I'm assuming they're more rugged. I'm assuming they can handle more, I guess, more tougher conditions. But is there anything specific that you guys had to do to build them out so they could be combat ready?
So if we talk about thermal cameras and so daylight cameras, this direction we launched just in the beginning of this year. So the innovation process is on the way. Yeah, but thermal cameras we do for over 2 years. And what's the difference with usual thermal cameras? So first of all, the image processing. So if you know what type of the object you would like to hunt for, you can set up your image processing to some thermal signature, let's say so. Yeah, and it means that you can identify the target on the larger distance, and it means that you will see the enemy earlier than they will see you, and this gives you some advantage. Then the interfaces. So you need to integrate the camera with different types of single boards, and with different types of computer vision. And you need to use camera in some circumstances of the weather or inside large drone, where a lot of magnetic fields are applied. So, and all these are requirements.
Mhm.
And you need to solve the issues on the hardware side and on the software side as well.
And is there target sensing inside the camera, or does it just optimize for target sensing? Does that make sense?
It is optimized, but yeah, step by step, the changes, so we are summarized and it leads to some new product.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go into too much detail. I can understand this is probably you don't want to talk too much about the inner workings. I'm just trying to understand if there's AI in the camera, for example, if there's image sensing or object sensing in the camera versus on board the drone, or actually way back where the drone operator is at. If that makes sense, or if it's just basically a camera shoots a signal back to the system. Why cameras aside from PetCube? Is this going to be the focus of Odd Systems, or are there going to be other products that you guys are making?
So at Odd Systems, we have two business directions, business units. Yeah, like one unit is focused on drones, and we do FPV drones, and also we do interceptors. And the second direction are vision systems. So this is cameras and accessories for the cameras.
Okay, and these are for military only. You're not going to be selling them to average consumers.
Right now, yes. So we are focused on our defense, and this is primarily goal for our team, and this is like mission specific, right? So mission not only for the military, but for us to defend our country. Yeah, but we are looking at the company as something that exceeds the term of the board. And it means that we definitely
Yeah, of course.
need to find and work on other applications.
Okay, all right. And what's the funding? How did you guys build out?
So in the beginning, it was like a bootstrap. So bootstrapping. So our co-founders put some money into the initial growth and experiments. And then we had some government grants to finance our early products. And then we grow in months to months, quarter to quarter. And like our sales finance the further development and R&D.
Mhm. All right, very cool.
So
All right,
currently we are sufficient, and sustainable.
and you're completely based in Kiev.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. What do you think is the future for computer vision and warfare? What needs to happen? What's your ideal product that you want to build?
So our sister company, the Force Law, they are building autonomy and they're focused on the future of autonomy. Today, they sell thousands of products to our defense forces, and they help to overcome radio horizon, to overcome radio jamming, and also to help newbie pilots, to catch the target and then do
Mhm.
complicated maneuvers to hit the target. But the ultimate goal is to have the drone which is fully autonomous. So it means that there should be some launch pad. Yeah, then the signal comes that there is a target in the zone of interest, and then the drone should be launched, automatically, and then go to the zone of interest and detect and identify and classify the target, and then to hit it. So, and it should be integrated into like larger system, which includes like ISR, which includes sensoring and decision making process and acting. So this is about interceptors and something very similar towards frontline strike drones and other types of drones.
So the goal is almost completely autonomous attack, right?
Right.
And as what's and obviously from the name first law, you have to the implications of that. What are some of the fail safes do you think that need to be put in place to control for, I don't know, accidental?
I believe this is a question. I mean, we need to find an answer. Where is the border? You know, the red line of autonomous versus control.
Fascinating. All right. Well, Odd Systems, you guys are out of Kiev. You're going to look at them at oddsystems.io. Thank you for this look inside the company.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for your questions, and yeah, thank you for spreading the word.
This has been Resilience. I'm John Biggs. We'll see you next time.